So we've had a little bit of warm weather recently, and our potatoes are growing pretty fast. As you can see here, they've gotten to about 6 inches tall. We've got our 4 rows here, 1 row of jellies, 2 rows of the bluebells from Irish Eyes, and then we got a row of red potatoes on the end there. Now that the potatoes are about this size, it's time to heel the potatoes, which is something you always want to do when growing potatoes. So there's 2 primary reasons that we heel our potatoes. The first has to do with the quantity of potatoes that we'll receive when we harvest them. The second has to do with the quality of the potatoes. So on a plant, we have 3 main organs. We have the roots, we have the stem, and we have the leaves. The actual potato is a modified stem. So it's not a root, it's a modified stem that the plant uses for storing energy and nutrients. The more of this plant that we cover, the more of those stems we bury, and the more of those modified stems or tubers or potatoes that we can get. Secondly, the quality of the potatoes. So if we don't heel these plants here, there's a good chance that the tubers or the potatoes that form might get exposed to some sunlight here. What happens when those potatoes get exposed to sunlight is they get a buildup of chlorophyll, that's what makes them green, and they also can build up this chemical called solanine, which is actually a toxin, and in higher concentrations can be toxic and pretty poisonous if you eat it. So the quality of the potatoes is best when they're buried and underground. So when we planted these potatoes, we didn't put any compost down in the furrow where we planted them. Main reason was because our chicken manure compost we had was still a little hot. We'd just gotten it from a buddy's chicken house, and it was still a little too hot that I didn't want to put it right on the plants. So what I did was I came in here and I put some compost in between these rows here and worked it in with the wheel hoe. That way when I go to heel these plants and bring that dirt onto the plant, those nutrients will be available for the plant to use. So when we planted these potatoes, which you can see in this video right here, we used our wheel hoe and showed you just how easy it is to make a furrow and cover up those potatoes with a wheel hoe. Today we want to show you how easy it is to heel those potatoes with the wheel hoe. But before we do that, I'm going to take my single wheel hoe and I'm going to run through here and cultivate these pathways to make sure I've got plenty of available dirt to throw onto these plants. So we've got our middles cultivated, and now it's time to heel our potatoes. We're going to use our new high arch wheel hoe today. As opposed to our double wheel hoe, which has a clearance of only about 5 or so inches down here, this high arch has a much higher clearance of about 15 inches. So we can let those potatoes get a little bigger before we heel them and don't have to worry about damaging the plant. So this right here is the perfect tool for heeling potatoes, corn, beans, any large plant like that. So another awesome feature of this high arch is the ability to adjust the spacing here between these wheels and the two toolbars. So by just moving these bolts right here and moving those toolbars in, you can have a narrower heel, or by moving them out like we've got them today all the way out, you can really account for those wide plants like potatoes. So we've got our plow blades on here, and there's a good bit of adjustment as far as how wide you can put these plow blades in addition to the wheel and toolbar adjustment. I've got these set where I think it's going to be just right for today as far as how wide these plants are. We've got a left and a right plow. The right plow always throws dirt to the right. The left plow always throws dirt to the left. So when you're in the heeling position, like we are today, the right plow is actually on the left side and the left plow is actually on the right side. So let's heel these potatoes. Don't blink, because this is going to happen super fast because it's super easy. So there you go, quick and easy potato healing with the new high arch wheel hoe and the plow set attachment. Now we probably heal these guys again in another week or two. When we do that, we'll move those plow blades out even wider to make a wider heel onto those potato plants. If you have any questions about growing potatoes, anything about growing potatoes, put those in the comments below. We'll be glad to answer them for you. If you want to make potato planting and healing fast and easy with one of these guys here, you can find the link for that in the description below.